Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. Before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Mubassyirah and I'm from class A. Here, I will explain about the mind map that I have made. And as we can see here, my mind map material is past perfect tense. Maybe there are still many people who wonder what is meant by the past perfect tense and when to use it. Let me explain it to you. So, as we can see here, the past perfect tense describes a completed activity in the past. It is used to emphasize that an action was completed before another action took place. And then here is a line that directs us to the right and down. But before we go down, we will go to the right first. On the right is the formula for forming the past perfect tense. So to form past perfect tense sentences, we can use had plus past participle. For those who don't know what the past participle is, so the past participle is verb 3. For example, take, took, taken. Well, the past participle or the third form of take is taken. Okay, now that we know the formula, we are now go back to the line that leads down earlier. Here are some examples that we can look at. The first example is Silverfinger had taken the pill before the team reached him. I have marked the formula in red. I have marked had taken there. The formula is correct. There is had and taken. As I said before, taken is the verb 3 of take. And then the second example, I had called the police before I investigated the noise in the garden. I have also marked had and called in red, and their called is the verb 3 of call. And the last example, the weather changed, but the team had planned its next move. Again, here we can see had and planned. Planned is verb 3 of plan. Okay, let's move on to the right side. As we discussed earlier, the formula for the past perfect tense is had plus past participle. Now the past participle is further divided into two, namely regular verbs and irregular verbs. If it's an irregular verbs, the past participle is formed in all sorts of different ways. For example, arise becomes arisen, catch becomes caught, choose becomes chosen, and know becomes known. For more examples, maybe you can see them in dictionaries or the internet. And the next, regular verbs. If it's a regular verb, the past participle is the same as the simple past tense. So here are 7 ways to form words in regular verbs. First, for most verbs, we just need to add or ed after the word. Example, jump becomes jumped. And then the second, if a verb of one syllable ends with consonant, vowel, consonant, double the final consonant and add. Example, chat. Chat is only one syllable, so if the word chat is spelled, it will be C-H-A-T, and the word ends with consonant, vowel, consonant. So we have to double the last letter, which is the T, and add after it. So the chat becomes chatted. And another example is stop becomes stopped. And then the third, if the final consonant is W, X, or Y, don't double it. Example, sir. The word sir ends with the letter W, so we don't need to double it. Just add behind it. So sir becomes sued. Another example, play becomes played and fix becomes fixed. And then the fourth, if the last syllable of a longer verb is stressed and ends with consonant, vowel, consonant, double it with double the last consonant and add. Example, encore. Here, encore has 2 syllables, namely in and core. And there is also a stress on the last syllable, so we have to double the last letter, which is R, and add after it. So incur becomes incurred. And then the fifth is if the verb ends with E, just add D. Example, thrive. Since thrive ends with E, we just need to add D after it. So thrive becomes thrived. Another example, guzzle becomes guzzled. And then the sixth, if the first syllable of a longer verb is stressed and the verb ends with consonant vowel consonant, just add at. Example, open. The word open consists of two syllables, namely O and pen. And there is a stress on the O and it ends with consonant vowel consonant, which is P, E, and N. So open becomes open. And finally, if the verb ends with consonant plus Y, change the Y to an I and add at. Example, cry. Since the word cry ends in Y, then we have to change it to I and add at after it. So cry becomes cried. Another example, fry becomes fried. And then this part in this past perfect tense also has a question version. We can make a question sentences using the past perfect tense. To ask a question with a yes or no answer, we can use this formula. Had plus subject plus past participle. For example, had the team planned its next move before the weather changed? In the example, we can see that the sentence begins with the word had, then followed by the subject, which is the team, and after that, it is followed by the past participle, which is planned. In addition, for word questions, we can use this formula. Question word plus had plus subject and plus past participle. For example, where had the team planned its next move before the weather changed? So here the sentence begins with the question word where, followed by had, the team as the subject, and planned as the past participle. Alright, that's all I can explain. I hope the material I have just presented is clear and can be understood by many people. I apologize if there are still many shortcomings in the explanation of my material. Thank you guys for watching and see you next time. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.